with a little dash of Python, sprinkle of Botpress, a pinch of Google Sheets, and a mystery ingredient, Make.com will whip out our own research agent. It's like cooking, but way cooler.
Sit down, watch and learn.
So buckle up, Buttercup, because it's about to get wild. This video is going to demystify research agents, give you a step-by-step guide on how to create one, and show you how to supercharge your business with it. We're not just talking the talk, we're walking the walk. So double buckle up now, prepare for some code-filled fun, and get ready to take your business to the new heights. Hey, all right, here you go. Hey, I'm Jenny, your friendly AI assistant. I'm here to answer any of your questions. Okay, so today we're doing a real estate research agent. Let me show you how it works. So imagine this is a real estate agency. What brought you up here today? You say like, oh, I'm looking for buy a house. So, you know, the regular bot stuff. Oh, this is very exciting, right? How long have you been looking for a home? Only a few months. And it's like, ooh, which home would you buy if you won the lottery and price was not a concern, right? I'm like, okay, sure. Manhattan penthouse, right? Seems like something that Wolf of Wall Street would do. All right, what's your full name? All right, let's see. Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not sure if that's how you spell it. What's your job? I'm an actor. Okay. And what's the name of the company you work for? Paramount Pictures. So Paramount Pictures, fun fact, is the company that actually shot Wolf of Wall Street. 5. What happened now is that this AI chatbot, it already used the information from Botpress to fill out the information over here, but that's the Botpress functionality, okay? So if you're ever interested in combining lots of different applications together, Make is the cheapest alternative right now, and they have a special just for you viewers. If you use the link below, you get a whole month of 10,000 operations for free, because how magical my link is. Anyhow, if you want to try it out, try it with the link below. Otherwise, your trial is not going to be as good as if you go through the link below. Leonardo DiCaprio is an American actor, film producer. So you see, it actually researched Leo while we were talking and wrote all this information. Paramount Pictures on several projects. He's not an employee. And you see, even though I made a mistake over here, it actually spelled it correctly. Let's talk about what is research agent. Research agents, they basically follow your directions. You create tools for them, and based on what tool your tools do and what is the objective you create for your research agent, that's what they're trying to achieve by frequent iteration to basically get this done. We need an example. Okay, so in the example you just saw, let's call it a lead qualification, where a business professional do some research on their customers to see, you know, what exactly they need and who they are, to understand what their budget is, what their work is like, to create a better solution for the client. A lot of business professionals who work in sales or business development, they know this, right? There is usually some sort of a scoring system where you will prioritize some clients over other because they're most likely to convert and they're most ready to convert. And that's how you run your business. So this is B2C, meaning business to consumer, a use case where you have a lead qualification. So a person came in, like Leonardo, and he filled out that form. Our form used information from Botpress to Google Sheets, but also it sent information to the research agent. This research agent has two tools. Tool 1 is hosted on Render, and I'll tell you what it is. It's a Google search tool, basically Googling all these people, all the information it gets. And then it has a second tool, and the second tool, it scrapes websites, uses a service called Browserless. Then it takes the HTML and make a regular text out of it using the Python library called Beautiful Soup. And then summarizes it, looks at the direction. You are a world-class researcher who can do detailed research on any topic and produce facts-based results. So this is straight from AI Jason's video. It works pretty well. You could always change it basically depending on what your use case is. But in this scenario, it works. This part of Research Agent is running on Python because there is an API endpoint created by Fast API for Python, right? And in order for it to be functioning, it has to be deployed somewhere. So it's deployed on Render. So then it sends information to Make. Yeah. All right. So as you see, as information comes through to the webhook, it goes into HTTP. Here, it's basically doing the research. This is a research agent, is working on this information. Once it completed the work, it comes over here, and then it gets deposited in Google Sheets, deposited in here, as you see. The information gets in here and everyone is happy. What else can we do? Called re-engagement. So for instance, you stop using some sort of service. With Research Agent, you could research people's interests and what kind of music they've been listening to, and then ping them when your research agent think that most often they usually listen. For instance, they listen music at 6 p.m. usually. So at 6 p.m. you could send a notification with a favorite song saying, oh, you haven't been here in a long time. Would you like to listen to that person's favorite song? Which leads to the much higher probability that the person will continue to use service and stick around longer. Company will make more money. Lead qualification is the use case we are currently working on right now. When you start understanding each and every use case, it becomes much clearer the value of the situation. Imagine you have your favorite local barbershop or a salon, right? Or nail salon, whatever. They have your information, how often you come in, when you get your nails done, hair done, and usually it's fairly repetitive process. So what you could do, you could give that information to research agent. The research agent will be able to analyze the information and then send information to you, to the customer, saying, hey, we haven't seen you in 5 weeks. Probably your hair is too long to look great. Why don't you stop by, get a haircut? Are you available on Tuesday at 5 p.m.? Because maybe it knows that according to all the data it has, this customer in particular always comes in on Tuesday or Wednesday at 5 p.m. So probability that this person is available is high. The research agent will be able to send a notification saying, hey, would you be available for Tuesday 5 p.m. or for Wednesday 5 p.m.? And then all the user needs or consumer needs, he doesn't need to think how to call them, what to do. He just needs to reply yes, and the booking happens. If your business is proactive, most likely what's going to happen is that you will be able to sell your services much more because you make it so easy, effortless to say yes, right? And yes, I need a haircut. Yes, I need my nails to be done. Yes, it's been 5 weeks, so most likely I need it. So all of this technologies back in the day required a lot of knowledge, required big budgets in order to create the systems. You don't need big budgets anymore. You could literally recreate, with a little Python running for $5, $7 a month on Fast API. I think this deployment is actually free, and that's it. And it does the work. Is that it? Can you do more? Yes, you can do more. So what else can you do? Okay, so in this case, you could also apply it to B2B. You could do churn prevention, lead scoring, personalized outreach, customer sentiment analysis. All of this functionalities are big departments or big cost centers in a lot of businesses. For B2B, the research agents are huge. I think there'll be a big shift in business space. You basically just change the prompts, change the custom tools they're using. So for this one, it has 2 custom tools, the search and the scraping, right? And basically summarization. And that's what this agent does. But it shouldn't be the only tools it has. It could have way more tools than that. So let's look at how our flow operates. All right, you give a user 2 different choices they could do right here, you see, and you save these choices in variable purpose off. If they say looking to buy a house, it basically goes over here. This is very exciting. And this is the Giphy, right? Makes it a little fun. You could include videos and GIFs in the Botpress, so that's cool, right? So I've included this Giphy. It's fun. This is very exciting. And whatever you're saying is being saved in the variables called time looking. All right. So this one over here, we move on. And then with whatever you say, the flow doesn't change. You're basically just going to the next step, but we already saved that time looking in there in the variable. Okay. So the thing about Botpress, it is really good at letting you create own flows and letting you actually save information as you see fit. So when you go over here, again, you have another Giphy. That's a Giphy of Leonardo DiCaprio doing Wall Street. Okay, thought it's pretty cool. Here you're asking, see, this is the question you ask and you move on, right? Which home would you buy? Again, whatever the person chooses, it will go to the same space. But the trick is the answer is getting saved in a variable client taste. And then we follow this line and we come over here, fill out form. Okay, fill out form, and here you basically saying what's your full name, and whatever person says or whatever person writes is getting saved under full name. Then it has always, so basically it's an expression that pushes you to the next step. Every time you work in Botpress, you have to explain in each node at what point is we going over to the next one, right? So in order to do that, we use expression, this over here, and once expression is true, you basically skip to the next step, okay, or to the next node. And here we basically wrote true, and that's why we're going here. Okay, when we're in the job, you'll say you came to the right place. It'll ask you for your job, and then it will save it into client job. It'll ask you for the company, row input, save to client company, and always, right? You're just basically moving on to the next step. Phone number, email, always. Okay. All right, so this is the part where the Botpress is going to be sending information. Talk to you soon, right? So when you see the GIF, you're like, oh, okay. At the same time, this information, the workflow over here that sends information to Make is being done. Okay, so we're basically sending all this lead data information to Make.com. This is the hook. So let's look at what's happening with Make. Come over here. So you see, it sends information over here to this webhook. Okay, and then what the webhook will do after that, it sends it to HTTP module. HTTP module is a module that could send API requests. And why do we care about this? Is because our research agent, it lives on render, remember? So we basically over here, okay? This is our Botpress. We finished this, and now we are sending information that we gathered, search agent Python, that is hosted on render. This is the render, and it's using Fast API. Fast API is the Python server. You could actually send information and make it work by using API. That's all it does, really. All right, so here we see we'll send a query, say who is, and the who is the name, Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Works for company Paramount Pictures. All right, so we send that information. Then over here, we basically try to do the scoring part. And then we go over here, we put it in the sheets, and here we send a text message. Come here. All right, so here you'll just do new web service. Okay, so what you will need to do is fork the researcher GPT repository from JSON, okay? And the link will be in my description, so just check it out. And also, if you still don't have Make.com, use that in the link in the description, because you'll get extra the months of pro subscription for free. So that's really cool. When we here, we basically say, all right, let's do this. Researcher, whatever you call it, and you can, for your web service, we'll call it YouTube example, right? Example, and they say main, source, install requirements. Okay, so boop boop. All right, okay, UV Core app host port 10,000. This is the start command that you'll need to use in order to get it going. You have your APIs, and it should be working. All right, so when you press on it, this is what you're supposed to get. Detail method not allowed. It means your server is working. Okay, copying this link, putting in Make.com, and here you see we basically sending, this is our API now that is running, and we're sending information and we're sending the query. But before we move on, let's look at what's going on the actual website, right? So this is a Python code, all right? Here, initially, you import all the necessary Langchain modules. You also import Beautiful Soup and Fast API, right? So that's what allows you to create the endpoint that you could connect to. And then you define what your tools are and what they do. So this is a tool for search. So basically, you see it's google.serper. That's why we need an API for Serper, because we're using the service, which is Serper. After you sign up for this, you have that API. So this function will use that API for Serper, right? What it will do, it will run your search, and then it will response.text. Basically, I'll send the response back to the agent, and then agent will be able to take the list of URLs that it gave him over here, and send them the objective. The objective is basically the instructions, what we were doing with this whole thing, right? Why we even searching. So now the tool 2 does the scraping. If you see, it's using a service called Browserless. So this service, what it does, it helps you with data extraction. It extracts data from the web pages. That's scraping browser automation for any size project. After you're done with this, you're calling this model GPT 3.5 because Turbo, this is a new model, and you're calling this because it's able to summarize a big amount of information. It has 16,000 limit on the tokens. All right, and it summarizes, and if at some point, if here a chunk size 10,000 and overlap 500, if it's bigger than that, summarize information, then we have the actual tool. This is actually creation of the agent, and this is the system message. Tells the agent how to act. Okay, give you a system message, all the information from memory, and here you go. Finally, here you see app.post, fast API application created, and endpoint is set up to accept a research query and perform the research using the agent and return the result. All right, so basically this is what happens in the Python agent. Okay, so again, I'll put all the links in the description below. Done over here with send information to scoring system and a client's job, and the company looking for a house, or just an example of how it would work based on the information that was found in the research. We classify it, and then we deposit all this information together in the Botpress. Okay, it's a really fun project. If you still haven't joined our community, a lot of cool information. We'll try to get as many people for office hours from the industry to tell us this fun projects that they're working on, and yeah, it should be really, really fun. So the link in the description to join our communities, and there are other people over there that are just like yourself, working really hard to make sense of all this new world. All the resources will be in our AI Sim Zone community, so feel free, join, and see you next time.